Welcome everyone, I'm Gemma and I'll be guiding you through a Yin practice today where we'll be focusing on the meridians, the channels of energy flow through the body regarding the kidney and urinary bladder. So it's an energy of releasing and letting go of stored energy and emotions that, as we know from contemporary science now, not just ancient yoga philosophy, that emotion can be stored in the tissues. And so our Yin practice helps us to become more aware of where we might be holding on to emotions and tension, and also to allow that release and create space within the joints and encourage bone density growth. So beauties, thank you for signing the medical waiver and letting me know of any conditions that are contraindicated for the shapes that we'll be taking today. So there's no one pregnant here and no one with a back injury, or we have a few little joint issues, knees, hips, shoulders, and we'll be accommodating for that with modifications for each pose. So I invite you now to come to a seat, and I will use a block just so that I can elevate my spine. And you might like to take Vajrasana, a hero pose, or I'm going to sit in an easy Sukhasana with my heels to the midline, center of the body, and that way I can be very tall and upright, lifting through the perineum, Mula Bandha, gently drawing back through the belly, Uddiyana Bandha, and tucking the chin slightly, Jalandhara Bandha, our energy seals. I'll take a mudra which is called Gyan or sometimes Nana, the energy of consciousness and awareness, knowledge, bringing us into a more meditative state as we create a circuitry in the body, psychoneural and electromagnetic. As we sit upright and allow the shoulders away from the ears, we might gently close eyes or soft gaze, a drishti, a meditative focus. As we start to notice our breathing, we're breathing in and out through the nose, easefully, not trying to change anything currently, just noticing the breath. As we feel our body very tall and upright, we're connecting into the heart space and feeling our sit bones very even, connecting downward through Muladhara chakra, the base chakra, into the earth and the heart of Gaia. We feel this energy coming up into our body and energy fields, and feel the heart expanding. And that energy, we imagine moving upward through the chakras and nadis, through Sahasrara, the crown, and to the heart of the cosmos. And that presence that we all have different names for, perhaps quantum presence, creator, divine source, whatever the energy is that you feel to connect with that is more expanded, loving and pure. So as we change our breath now, gently, starting to breathe in for the count of 4 or 5, and breathing out for 6, 7 or 8, finding your own flow. Breathing in through the nose and leaning into that extended exhalation as we cultivate feelings of gratitude and self-appreciation at the heart center. We are moving into coherent energy fields where the brain, physically, and the heart begin to synchronize the sine wave energy flow, moving into coherence. Continuing this breath for 3 minutes. will bring. What does that bring? Notice the sensations in the body as we soften to stillness and focus on our breath. Tall spine to allow the prana, the life force, the vital life force, known in yoga philosophy as prana, chi or ki in traditional Chinese medicine, to flow more freely through Shoshona, the central meridian. Completing our last round of breath now with that extended exhalation. We'll inhale our arms up and around the body, find Anjali Mudra, palms together, and exhale out through the mouth. Inhaling to chant 3 beautiful Oms. Ah from the belly, ah into the heart, into the head, resonant cavities. Just noticing that sonic reverberation through the waters in the cells of our body. And so we'll come to remove our block or cushion, and our first shape will be a reclined butterfly. So if you are using no props and you are used to this shape, we'll take the soles of the feet together as we lay down using our elbows and come to lying down with the legs open in an external hip rotation. Arms may be out by the side. So I'm bringing my knees in, tucking my chin and coming to a seat to assist those who would like to use a block. And many of you are already in the shape, so I am counting the timing for you to be holding this shape for 3 to 4 minutes. If you are using a block to assist opening of the heart space, you may feel to have an open throat as well and open arms, bringing the soles of the feet together in the butterfly shape. If this is not for you, and notice how I'm coming out of the shape by bringing my chin to my chest and rolling onto the side. Pushing up slowly, we will move even slower coming out of the shape after we've been in it for 3 minutes. If you would like to use a bolster, bringing it to the lower back, the sacrum, and then inhaling a tall spine and laying back down, you will have the neck and head supported now as we open arms out, or they can be beside the body. What feels good for you? And we're here opening the legs in this way. We can use a strap around the legs as well, but I'm just going to bring my knees together, tuck my chin, use my core to lift up. And I know that most of you are in your shape, and I'm assisting those who aren't and who would like further assistance. If you're using the strap, we're threading through the 2D rings and then back over that second one and through the first. Placing the loop around the waist and making sure that the metal part isn't on the skin. We might have to loosen it a little to find that outer blade edge of the foot, and then we can make it tighter using that strap to draw on. Once again, inhaling tall spine and laying back down over our support, tracing collarbones out and relaxing the whole body down. Noticing the breath now as I come out of this shape to assist anyone who needs assistance. Some of you have been in the shape for nearly 3 minutes already, and we are focusing on the breath without efforting, and just allowing that Durga and Sukma, the deepening and smoothing of the breath, to occur. Noticing where the body feels tension, taking the breath there perhaps, and just allowing that softening of shoulders, opening of the body, and being present for whatever is arriving emotionally and in thoughts. As we build our tolerance for the shape, finding that first edge and then stillness, it is a hermetic application of tension to the body that over time builds resilience and the opening through the joints, through the whole body, releasing energy through the breath and through our intention. So coming out of that shape now, as I displayed before, if you have the strap, just bringing the knees in close together, using the hands. And then from here, if you're on the block or on the floor or with a bolster, choices are to use elbows, tuck chin, roll onto one side, or if you feel to, you could push up from that straight position. We're moving very slowly as the tissues are fragile and tender after our long holds. Beautiful. We're finding our way to the center of the mat again and bringing our feet as wide as the mat, hands behind, fingers pointing forward, shoulders away from ears. We're gently going to rock the knees from side to side in what we call windshield wiper action. We're moving slowly and gently, honouring our body. And then I invite you to lay down on the mat and bring the knees in. A gentle massage, rolling the knees around one way and then the other. Maybe even towards happy baby, if you feel to bring the knees out towards the underarms. Bring those ankles above the knees, arms maybe inside knees and out to the blade edge of the sole of the foot that is perpendicular to the ceiling. You might like to rock from one side to the other. We're just massaging the lower back that has been in spinal extension. Now we're in a deep spinal flexion. And as we bring the knees back in together, tuck them in and we will roll onto our side. Take a breath here and then gently pushing up to our seat. Finding a tall seat, we'll move into caterpillar, and I might move sideways because you might like to use a cushion under the sit bones that will anteriorly tilt your pelvis, your pelvic girdle, just tilting it in this way, which enables a forward fold that we're moving into. You might be using a block or your bolster. I'll have them there. If you're not using any props, we inhale a tall spine from a Dandasana position. We're exhaling and tilting from the hip. Our feet are flexed to protect the knees. We might have some support under the knees if we need to bend them, which could be a rolled up or folded blanket. And as we find that first edge of tilting forward from the hips, we then might lay the arms down and start to fold through the lower back. So we're addressing the urinary bladder and kidney meridians. You might like a block here to support the forehead, or it might be My bolster has just rolled over. You might be that you prefer the bolster this way or even this way to offer more support. Arms relaxing down, one cheek to the side. So I know that some of you have been in this shape already for a little while, and I'm checking that we're staying in the shape from 3 to 4 minutes. So in noticing our breath here, once again, just the sacred observer as we start to surrender into the shape and allow the body to soften. So the urinary bladder meridian flows from the inner eye up over the head and down the back of the neck, right down through the back, along the hamstrings and right down to the little toe on each side. The flow is downward and it's a yang meridian. So we're really activating the urinary bladder meridian in the caterpillar shape. Now just checking our time, beauties. If you have been here from the beginning of the description of the caterpillar shape, you might prepare mentally for coming out of this shape and start to gently walk the hands back. Just noticing how that feels, walking the hands back slowly and gently and coming to a tall spine. As I remove my block here or my cushion, I'm bringing my body down again and finding a Shavasana shape that is nearly neutral spine. We've got the gentle curve in the back still. We're tucking the chin and just noticing how that feels. We'll bring the right knee up and reach across with the left hand to the outer edge. Open that right arm, maybe turn towards the right hand as we bring the left leg across the body into a gentle torsion through the upper body, stretching out through that hip and offering a counter pose for our caterpillar. Inhaling back and exhaling the leg long. We inhale the left leg up and reach across with the right hand, drawing that leg across the body, looking back to the left hand. Plugging the shoulder down to offer the greatest traction or torsion through the body. As we inhale up, we'll draw both knees in together. Offer that gentle massage again. Rolling onto our side, we're pushing up to prepare for our next shape, which is the dragon pose. So we have our supports ready, but if we feel to move into the dragon shape from 4 points with wrists and shoulders in alignment, knees and hips, we might take a lovely languid cat-cow, exhaling as we round the spine. And then bringing the hands forward a little, I'm coming up onto fingertips to enable room for that right leg to come forward. And then we might have blocks here for the hands. We may have a cushion or a rolled up blanket for that back knee. Once we arrive here, we might be able to slide that back knee back just a little. And we may be using the blocks, or we may be using fingertips here. This is a deep stretch through the iliopsoas, the hip flexor, and our shoulders are coming down away from the ears, shoulder blades hugging the back of the heart. Using the blocks, using our fingertips, maybe hands down, perhaps fists if there's a lot of wrist flexion that's not required, not desired, Or maybe you have the capacity to bring the elbows down and allow the chin to drop, relaxing the head and neck. So if you did have capacity as well, you might like to open onto the blade edge of that right foot. And I can see that everyone is taking beautiful options here, honouring their individual and unique needs for this yin practice. Beautiful, everyone. Just observing how everyone is going. Beautiful work. Noticing the breath, where it's moving the body, how it feels, the sensations within and around the body. Interoception is that inner feeling of physical, emotional, mental perception. And as we find that beyond the first edge stillness, it is okay to pandiculate in and out of the shape a little if you need, but that stillness really offers us that next level of self-transformation, becoming the witness and realizing that everything is impermanent. We stay present for what is. Softening and releasing. The kidney meridian that we're working with as well flows from the sole of the foot up the inner thigh, through the pelvis, through the center of the body to the root of the tongue. And it is a yin meridian flowing upward. Beautiful, everyone. Preparing to come out of our dragon shape. So depending if you have supports, we might leave them there if you're using the support, and then exhale, gently, gently moving the body, the hips backwards, lifting the toe at the front to stretch out through that hamstring in a different way, and then inhaling forward, and we might just flow again, exhaling backwards. And this time, bringing the hands back, we'll bring that leg around, take the knees a little wider, bring the toes together, and buttocks come down onto the heels as we lay the arms forward, maybe one cheek down or the forehead to our wide knee child pose. The energy is the hips are back and down over the heels. So countering the shape that we've been in with our dragon in a child pose for a moment, and we're preparing to rise on up now, and we will bring the knees in and slide the hands forward, coming down to elbows and laying the legs long down behind us on the mat. So I might reveal this shape along the mat in the other direction as well. Fingers are splayed and the elbows are under the shoulders. Shoulders are away from the ears, and we're tucking the chin. Once we find our Sphinx pose, we're not lifting really high through the body. It's more that the ribs are coming away from the hips lengthwise. So once you find that shape, maybe you drop the head gently down, tucking the chin and allowing those shoulders to soften away from ears again. Beautiful options out there, I see. Perhaps you would like to bring the elbows a little more forward, might be easier. And you may even like to bring the palms to the forehead, or even the heel of the hand gently into the eye orbit, which activates the vagus nerve at the ocular level. Another beautiful way to tone the parasympathetic nervous system. Lovely choices, everyone. I'm just going to push up and lay lengthwise on the mat in the Sphinx shape, showing the use of a support under my ribs in this way. This might feel very supportive for you. We're relaxing once we're here, the buttocks, and letting go of lifting the kneecaps to relax the legs and allow this softening through the lower back of the fascia, the connective tissue that we're targeting. So as we prepare to come out of this shape, I'm gently going to take my blanket out of the way there and then lay down on the mat with the arms out wide in a yoga melt, with one cheek down, relaxing shoulders, relaxing the glute muscles, relaxing hamstrings, and noticing how we're feeling after the Sphinx, activating the urinary bladder and kidney meridians, particularly the urinary bladder. And we slide the hands in now and push on up. And we're moving back now into the other side dragon pose. So taking, once again, if you use blocks on the other side, we're all asymmetrical. So you might find you have more range on one side than the other. We have our blanket ready for that knee support. And from our 4 points, I'll use the blocks to give more space so that I can bring that leg forward and then find that back knee, the right knee, sliding back, opening through the body down to the legs. So using the blocks here or hands, fists, checking that we've got space around the shoulders, not hunching up in this way, and then option to go down lower. You could even go to the elbows with the blocks here. Finding your place with no comparison or judgment with anyone else. Our yoga practice is in community but very individual and sacred. We're honouring our body, mind and spirit in every way possible. Beautiful, everyone. Noticing body sensations and noticing what's coming up with thoughts. Are they cycling or are they settling? Where is the breath now and what rhythm does it have? So with that breath guiding your practice today, I commend you for your presence and your ability to move into stillness. Beautiful, everyone. We're preparing, as some of you have been in this shape since the beginning of my description, to move gently out. And as we did on the other side, we sink the hips back. We might be using our blocks under hands, and we inhale forward. So as we already discussed the medical and contraindications for these shapes, it has been lovely to see you honouring your body with the props that you have been using. And as we slide that leg back now, we'll just sink back into our narrow child pose this time. I'll move sideways so that the palms come up, the back of the hands come down. The forehead may reach the mat, or we may use a block here to support the head. Relaxing the shoulders, shoulder blades separating down over the knees. Beautiful work, everyone. So rising up now, I'll invite you to find some warmer clothing and a blanket perhaps. You might even prefer, in Shavasana to have the bolster under the knees as you lay down. In this way, you might even like to have a cushion for your head, certainly a blanket for warmth over your body. Beautiful. So now that we are in Shavasana, perhaps if you're lying on the mat, your feet are just wider than the hips and arms are splayed out in the same symmetry as the feet. We're noticing our breath still and not trying to change it in any way as we soften the whole body down for integration of the practice. A moment of contemplation and awareness, realizing how much generosity and grace it takes to surrender into these shapes and to be present for ourselves. So as we finish our practice, noticing the breath, noticing how we feel, sensorially, somatic awareness of the body. We've moved today without any pain or sharp tingling feelings, though we have moved into the discomfort, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. So beautiful ones, now I invite you to start to move hands and feet in gentle ways to awaken the body, taking some deeper breaths in through the nose, sipping breaths, and out through the mouth, awakening the body and starting to move as we inhale, arms up overhead and gather the knees in. We might inhale, arms again, and gather the knees into the heart space. Gentle massage, rolling onto our side. We'll take a breath here and then preparing to push up to our seat, either with a block or just on the mat. Finding Anjali Mudra if you feel, hands connected together in this sacred gesture, a mudra of reverence, respect, and gratitude. So we'll inhale, arms around the body, gather that prana down to the heart space, feeling very connected, very in our body, and very grateful. We'll inhale to chant one beautiful Om. And bring hands to our forehead, third eye, bowing to our beautiful sacred heart.